Hey everyone, and welcome back to this brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the results of the January Trader of the Month contest. Here we'll see which student had the best overall performance, as we'll also have a look at the performance of those who didn't win, but yet still achieved noteworthy results. And what we're going to do is we'll also try to give some operational advice based on their direct experience in the markets during the past month. We'll see in practice what worked best, as well as try to figure out if it could be useful to apply it to our live trading. I'd just like to remind you that the Trader of the Month contest is reserved for Unger Academy students who can participate every month by submitting their live trading results for a chance to win a €1,000 Amazon gift card. It's one of the coaches at Unger Academy here. And before we start, I'd just like to recommend that you support us, please, by subscribing to our channel and as well as clicking on that notification bell so that you can always stay updated on all our new content and all our new videos that we put out. Thank you so much. So let's start with the first lineup, the statement of Marco, who managed to earn €26,800 in January 2023, starting with an initial capital of €70,445. So I would say an outstanding performance. As you can see, Marco works with the broker Dukas Copy and mainly uses CFDs as instruments. Coming back to the performance, we're talking about 37.28%. The drawdown data is missing, but Marco kindly provided it to us, and it corresponds to a value of 7.24%. So, well, a really very limited drawdown. We have the trade history, and also we have the equity curve, which I've got to say is really very smooth. It's a really nice equity curve. And at this point, you'll understand that we've got curious about what Marco did. What he did to get this kind of performance. And the first thing that he explained to us was that he isn't alone. Actually, he formed a working group with two other traders, more specifically with another trader and a programmer to, let's say, help a little bit better in putting together and building the trading systems. Also, because with Dukas Copy, as far as I know, you have to convert the algorithms into a different language than we normally use with MultiChance. Marco approached algorithmic trading with his own systems in 2021 and then started using the Unger method in just 2022, last year, which helped him get these great results. He diversifies a lot through CFDs with different types. So on commodities, stock indexes, and also currencies. And he confirmed that these last 6 months were really very good because he managed to earn, in the last 6 months, €100,000 with a performance of 66%. Although he started just a short time ago, the results are just simply outstanding. It should also be said that Marco and his team have a pretty aggressive risk profile, but they are also well capitalized. And he told me that they have tried to match, to put side by side two slightly different approaches, a fully systematic approach and a semi-systematic approach, in the sense that there's a minimum amount of discretion in portfolio management. And he confirmed to us that, at least so far, the fully systematic approach is the one that has been successful, the approach that has definitely performed the best. And finally, we asked Marco what advice he would like to give those starting to go live with their systems. And he replied that the most important thing, in his opinion, is not to be deterred by the first drawdowns, the first losing trades. It's clear that the first times can be a bit scary, but if you've worked properly, these difficulties can indeed be overcome. Right, let's now turn to Francisco's report. He's another trader who has shown an excellent performance in January 2023. He started out on Binance, that's cryptocurrencies, with a starting capital of €45,911 and closed the month with €69,642. Unfortunately, Binance's statement, it's not the best. It lacks key data such as drawdown and the equity curve. However, we have calculated these values ourselves, so Francisco managed to gain more than 50%. 51.69% to be exact, which is $23,731,000, a very impressive accomplishment. Now, Francisco isn't alone either. He was keen to point out that he's working with another trader named Daniel, who is also a student at Unger Academy. And they've just recently started because we are talking about October 2022. So really, guys, congratulations, because in just a few months, you've managed to go live in the markets, in the cryptocurrency market. Really wow. They've also traded before, but in a more discretionary way, mainly on the US stock indexes, and then moved to the cryptocurrency market, which we know is very scalable on the one hand, and on the other hand, offers really remarkable opportunities with the volatility that these financial instruments have. They then work with cryptocurrency futures, which is still allowed in their country, and they have about 20 strategies. As a kind of systems, they relied on the Unger Academy systems proposed in the crypto training program. So we're specifically talking about the ORB, namely the opening range breakout, a standard volatility breakout system, the large drop, so a mean reverting system, and they have also developed some bias strategies as well. He did point out that bias and mean reverting are his favorite approaches, mainly because of the higher success rate of these types of systems. And flanking the Unger Academy systems, there are also a few proprietary strategies that they've personally developed. Now, Francisco's advice for those who are approaching live trading for the first time is to start with caution, meaning a humble approach to the markets, and, most importantly, diversify your portfolio well. A few strategies just aren't enough. It's good to start with at least 5 to 7 strategies to have a minimum of diversification, which definitely helps us the most to spread the risk and, of course, manage it in the best way. And now on to the winner of the contest, Roberto, who won the €1,000 Amazon gift card. Indeed, a very impressive performance by Roberto. We're talking about a positive 26.78% return in 1 month on the traditional markets this time, with a really low drawdown at 3.16%. I mean, the gain amounts to almost €53,000, so it's a really impressive amount. A very regular equity curve. Very good, especially when compared to what are the main equity index benchmarks. Finally, we can see the main underlying assets that contributed to this outstanding performance. We have heating oil and gasoline. So in the top two, energy. Equity indexes, DAX and NASDAQ in 5th place. And finally, the metals, copper. So congratulations to Roberto, who, by the way, had already distinguished himself in 2022 with a remarkable performance. So it's not the first time that he has won the contest as the best trader of the month. Nevertheless, I must say that Roberto has proven to be very humble. Jokingly, he told us that it's also a bit of beginner's luck because he is also a fairly new trader, so he's been in the academy for, a few years at most. And then, when the good performances keep coming, that's actually a sign that you have obviously done an excellent job. He has found a lot of benefit in expanding the number of strategies. So, again, in diversification, he manages a portfolio of over 170 strategies through the Titan software, which is also used with the basic settings that Andrea Unger suggests. And I remind you that the Titan software is a proprietary software of Unger Academy, available to all students, which allows optimal management of a trading system portfolio. It's well capitalized, so it mainly uses large cap futures, except for the DAX, the mini S&P, and the NASDAQ used in micro, because they certainly give him a greater opportunity for diversification by using multiple systems that, when mixed together, give an equity curve that is certainly more regular. He has a conservative risk profile, so we've said that he uses the Unger Academy basic settings, and recently he also activated the ICE market. That's a market that many traders, tend not to use initially, because of the cost, which is not low to get the market data. But it does offer so many opportunities, especially in those commodities like coffee, but more recently also orange juice, which have really remarkable and interesting volatility that you can exploit with breakout systems. His workhorse at the moment is natural gas, which has done very well because of the macroeconomic upheavals that we've had in the last year. That has indeed worked very well. It has performed very well with a nice, broader average trade compared to the past. Now, its peculiarity is to develop on data until 2019 and then to keep a whole part of the data out of sample to check the soundness of the system. And if it doesn't show some continuity with the past in those out-of-sample years, well, it'll be discarded. He doesn't try to re-optimize and modify the system to get the results he wants, but rather takes it and, let's say, discards it if it doesn't work. What he wants to see is a real out-of-sample. And he advises those approaching live trading for the first time to proceed with some caution. So maybe start with paper trading, as he did, especially to understand the why of things, the why of any issues that may arise when you first start live trading. And for this reason, he kept a trading journal where he would jot down pretty much everything that happened when he was live trading, or even any technical issues that you should know well for the future so that you don't repeat them. So that's a suggestion that he gives to all of you, of course, coupled with a big dose of caution when you get going. Anyway, a massive, massive congratulations to Roberto, who really did a great job. Well done. If your goal is to achieve results like the ones you've just seen by going live in the markets, and if you also want to participate in this contest, which is exclusive to Ungar Academy students, and then, thus, have the chance to win a €1,000 Amazon gift card every month, well, go and click on the link below. From there, you'll be redirected to a page where you'll find the contest rules, and from there, if you wish, you can sign up for a free consultation with one of our coaches who will give you all the information that you'll need. And finally, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our channel to support us and to click on the notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next month. Bye-bye for now.